We're live. Which are very cool, by the way.
They are.
Yeah.
Maybe a video about that eventually.
Yes, maybe eventually. Welcome, my friends, to the WAN show, the show on the internet. That's the joke, after all. WAN show.
Yeah.
Wide area network.
No one got it at this point.
Almost no. Well, no. I remember when we first changed the name, which is really funny. Everyone hated the name WAN show. I bet most of you don't even remember. I miss the days when it was the live stream, when it didn't have all these production values and 3D printed microphone holders with...
Screw the garage, I liked the kitchen or the living room.
Screw the kitchen, I liked the whatever was before the kitchen with the bookshelves and change is never good. Why, get off my lawn. All right, so oh wow, yeah, I've got people talking in the chat about who's wearing their WAN hoodies. Yes, the WAN hoodies have finally dropped. Mine's actually at home. Yeah, mine's at home. I do have to wash it occasionally. Also, short sleeves. Like, it is finally getting to be the real spring going on over here.
It's interesting.
So I'm
I noticed,
pretty excited.
because I do thermal testing in the warehouse, and the warehouse doesn't really have, like, it has heating things, but they're usually off. You can track, like, what season the video came out in based on the ambient temperatures in the warehouse. Because in the winter it was like 16 degrees. Now it's like 22. It's like, oh, okay.
I really hope it doesn't get, like, too hot in here in the summer.
It's probably going to.
You know what? Last summer, it was somewhat bearable on the days when we didn't open up the bays. And we have the window coverings now.
That'll help.
That's because, like, my office, someone walked into my office yesterday. Taryn came into my office yesterday before we shot the channel Super Fun. And he was like, holy crap, it's hot in here. I had the window cover open for about 7 minutes. Before
beams right in there.
Before I got them, that office was like a sauna. It was horrible.
I hate that.
It was absolutely horrible.
I hate that so much.
And to be clear, guys, we have an air conditioning setup.
Yeah.
But you don't air condition a warehouse, generally speaking. It's not really...
unless you're like a cold storage place.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how ballin' it would be to air condition the entire warehouse? Have you been up on the roof?
No.
Okay, so the two air conditioning units, you can see them up there. So we have two air conditioning units, each of which are about double the size of this table. Mm-hmm. And that is just for the office space, which is only about a third of the entire space in here. So we would have to have like 6 air conditioning units or much larger ones in order to air condition the warehouse.
Which is insane, and it's huge amounts of money, lots of electricity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so there's 100...
And ongoing costs suck.
Yes.
So there's that. Even when you live in BC and your power is pretty cheap because everything's just falling water, it still sucks.
One-time costs are good.
Yeah.
Things like buying a camera, like in the grand scheme of things, even a $5,000 camera is not that bad. Hiring an employee for, let's say, I don't know, $2,500 or $3,000 a month. Let me tell you, that adds up extremely quickly.
Especially compared to, I can't remember, 2 months in, you're already way past. And then, like, with the stuff that employers have to pay for different various things, possibly 1 month in.
And you know what's BS? With the camera, I pay for it once and I can use it forever. It turns out employees are nothing like slaves. The second you stop paying them, they stop working. In fact, if you terminate them, it is customary to pay them to keep working for another 2 weeks, even though they don't do it. Anyway, we've got a lot of great topics for you guys today. Tesla announced the Model 3.
Yay.
Dun, dun, dun. Although you'll have to wait a while if you want one.
Yes.
More on that in a little while. Yes. Ooh, this is interesting. Lawmakers pushing to make owning an unregistered prepaid phone illegal in the United States of A.
Holoportation from Microsoft. That's all I'm going to say is holoportation.
Anything is better with portation at the end. Yeah. Like transportation.
That's a little boring, maybe.
Yeah, that's
not
boring.
always. Planes, trains, automobiles.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yes. Anyways.
You don't even know that's a movie, do you?
I know that's a movie.
I don't know.
Why I said
you didn't know who Tom Hanks was. You didn't know Harrison Ford played Han Solo.
Okay, those are misquotes and not fair.
Okay, you know what's great about the internet? Speaking of quotes,
no, they can go watch it.
Mr. Gabe Newell once said that you can't lie to the internet because
so
they
go
will
watch
catch it. You did not know Harrison Ford.
I know who Harrison Ford is. I forgot his name in context when talking about Han Solo.
It's still inexcusable.
But that's not how it happened. That's why I said a misquote. God.
Why don't you misquote another topic?
Bintel Broadwell-EP branched. There, I misquoted a topic, which was Intel Broadwell-EP.
No, you're done. Intro's rolling. You're done. And when it's done rolling, he won't be there. Okay, no. See, there's a problem with this. There's a big problem with this, so I'm gonna have to fix this here. We've got ourselves a problem. I'm just gonna hold on. I gotta just. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, he's back. Okay. Yeah. Good enough. His feet can stay. That's it. You're done. What am I trying to do right now? Oh yeah, sponsors. Squarespace. Oh, he's back. Wait, hold on. I have to fix this. There we go. All right, so get back in here. Get back in
so that
here.
what you said wasn't going to be a misquote, so I had to not be there.
Yeah, because then we'd have to get rid of me, and then there would be no WAN show.
And that's a problem.
Do you know how many WAN shows in a row we have done on Fridays? Whether it's, Christmas or New Year's, which I think both fell on Fridays this year.
We kind of fake out the Christmas one.
April Fools, we did fake out the Christmas one.
We did it on a Thursday.
That's true. We did.
Every other one we honestly haven't faked out.
Yep. I don't think we've ever actually claimed it was a live broadcast when it wasn't.
No. I've had people in the chat be like, "This isn't live. There's no way it's live." And then I'll reply to them in chat, and then they're like, "Oh, okay."
Really?
That actually happens quite a bit.
Oh,
because it'll be some holiday, and they'll be like, "There's no way they came into work." It's like, actually, we did. There's been a few times where we'll move when we get the holiday, so we'll take the holiday on the Monday instead of the Friday. Yep. Or there's been other times where we just come into work at 4.
Yep, I think we did that. I think we only did that once, but Luke and I did do one day where just he and I came in. No one else was in the office. We hosted the WAN show, and then we pieced out. It was a beautiful day, if I recall correctly.
It was actually,
Yeah, I think it must have been BC Day or Family Day or something like that, and we're just it's really hot in this room, and it's really gorgeous outside.
And we had to listen to the kids walking. But yeah, anyways.
Speaking of gorgeous outside, the original article was posted on the forum by Maybach123. Yes, I have.
What do you think of the
Tesla
front?
Model 3 announced. The release is set for 2017, which is a very, very generous headline, courtesy of The Verge, because I think what Musk actually said was that production will be starting in late 2017, with the plan being to actually deliver cars by the end of 2017.
At least a few.
Which based on how many people have pre-ordered the damn thing already, probably doesn't mean that everyone who pre-orders is getting one right off the hop.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't expect it to be any different than their other launches, where they're just going to go in order of their pre-order list. So, okay, what do you think of the very front?
Okay, so...
What?
I think it looks ugly.
Okay.
But...
Because you said speaking of beautiful, and I was like,
yeah. I'm not much of a car guy, so I generally don't have much of an opinion about a car.
Okay.
But this looks jarring and unattractive to me, but I think I understand why. Again, maybe because...
Well, it looks like it kind of crashed into a wall.
Maybe because I'm not a car guy. Because I'm looking at it, I like to think very, very objectively. And I think what I don't like about it is just that the grill is missing. I understand why the grill's not there.
Okay.
You don't need one. You don't need one for an electric car. There's no radiator. There's no heater core. Well, oh no, there is a heater core probably, but I guess that would just be handled down here or something. Anyway, like I get why it's ugly, and it has kind of a Porsche look to it, a little bit to me. Like the
okay, I see it. Yeah.
Like the hood has kind of like a Porsche look to it.
It's exactly like the Panamera to me.
Brandon says it looks like a Panamera to him, but I think if you shopped a grill onto it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
I didn't think it was a girl thing at all until you brought that up.
It wouldn't look so unnatural to people. And I think car people who find beauty in every line and every aspect of a car are used to seeing something. It's like let's say a very beautiful woman who didn't have a nose. Maybe she's still beautiful, but you're looking for the elements that make the person a human.
And also
and if something's missing, I think it's jarring.
But then at the same time, you're going to get people that want jarring. So people are going to really like this.
Yes.
There's people that might be super into the chick with no nose. Yeah.
Exactly.
When I first saw this, I thought it looked, especially probably because of the lighting in that photo. If you want to jump back there and share it.
Yeah, sure. I'll get back on there.
So I'm assuming it's especially because this specific photo is the only time that I've been like, ooh, I don't really like it. But you can see right along the edge.
Here,
on the top, I can't really. So right along there, you can see the line from the lighting, and it makes it look like this super harsh angle.
It does.
It looks like it was like angle folded in, and like it was smashed into a wall, and I don't really like that. But in profile pictures, it doesn't look nearly as bad. So I think it's because of the lighting in that one photo.
Interesting.
It looks like super bent in and awkward. And I know, like, Brandon brought up the Panamera, and there are some Porsche cars that do kind of do that, but then there's something going on there, whether it's a grille or something, an opening. I know they have the opening at the bottom, but it doesn't really look the same. It still looks like a pretty harsh edge.
It still does look like, you know, everything.
It looks like someone took a styrofoam cutter and just cut off the front of the car.
Yeah, I can see it. And you know what? Like, the thing is that if there was a grill on there, it wouldn't bother you, I bet. Because you could even have the grill it could even be concave. I mean, concave grills are a thing.
Yeah.
You could have a concave grill right there and it would look totally natural. But I think it's like the nose analogy is pretty good. Where it's just like, the nose isn't there.
Yeah.
So, and you're looking for something you're expecting, and you end up with, like, it kind of looks bland here. Like, I'm expecting...
Yeah.
Because the grill is an accent piece. I mean, that's why you call, you know, the gold teeth nonsense. That's why you call it a grill. It's like, it's a dressed up element of a vehicle, and it's missing on this car.
The registration plate will be there. Yeah.
I don't know how much that's going to help.
Yeah.
A good point, and thank you for bringing that up, but I don't know how much it'll help.
And it's going to be such a small thing, and it's very overlooked on a lot of cars anyways.
Yeah. It surprises me that for the sake of fuel economy, they don't have, like, an air scoop that filters air through the car or something like that. Like it looks like a very blunt nose, but I'm sure the engineers at Tesla thought of something.
I was just going to say, I'm sure there's some logic behind the, like, even aerodynamics of it. Having a straight wall doesn't normally seem like a great idea for that, but I'm sure there's something going on there.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's not until
I'm not an engineer.
It's not until you sit in a better engineered car that you appreciate certain things about it. Like, I had the first vehicle that I ever sat in that I noticed this on, like, my family always had North American vehicles. And so the first car I ever noticed this on was a Volkswagen Jetta of some sort, some model. It was a long time ago. And I marveled that when I opened the windows, when I unrolled them in the rain didn't drip inside the car. And I was like, leave it to the Germans to figure out how you can open your window, like, as long as it's not torrential downpour.
Or like coming in that way.
Yes,
on an angle.
or angled.
Yeah.
How to have the water kind of fly past the car instead of, like, going right into the window and soaking whoever's in the back seat. I was like, this is amazing. I think it was a 91 Jetta, and I suspect that not every Volkswagen and it could have been by chance. It could have been entirely by chance, although I doubt it.
Yeah.
So it blows me away the number of things that go into something that's seemingly as simple to the untrained viewer as the body design of a car, where you just kind of go, yeah, it must just be for looks, right? No. manufacturability,
Yeah.
aerodynamics, things like keeping the frickin' rain off of people. Absolutely stunning, the amount of work that goes into something like this.
That being said, I think the rest of the car is very good looking.
I think the rest of the car is actually very plain looking.
For a $35,000 car, though. Brand new.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put us here. Does that not pretty much look like the butt end of my Civic?
I just like the little Tesla badge, to be completely honest.
You just like the Tesla badge? Really? You don't like this?
No, I just like.
Oh, you just like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
Not dislike.
Okay, so
I just know, like, because when you covered it up, I was like, kind of boring. So like, that's probably a significant part of it.
You are so freaking shallow.
If you look at the back too, though, I think there's like a cool window thing going on.
Yeah. Okay. So no, they've Verge has another shot of it. Here, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna.
Because I liked that cool. I thought. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, so it's one continuous piece of glass all the way from the front of the windshield to the back of the windshield. And this
with
is
a
another
5-star safety rating.
I was going to say, this is another thing that kind of blows me away because Musk has come right out and said that it will be one of the safest cars available. And I'm kind of
giant piece of glass over everyone.
And I'm kind of going, I mean, this is something people don't think about because how often do you pick up, you know, a 6-foot-long piece of glass? Not very often.
No.
Frickin' heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I had to put the door back on my my glass enclosed shower thing at home with the help of my with the help of my wife, and like it was all we could do to get it on crooked. It's on crooked now. And I was like, she wanted to take it off, and it was one of those like husband and wife things where you know she's wrong, and you know you're gonna regret it, but you do it anyway because you're just like. Yes, you're right, dear. It is very, very important indeed to, you know, clean the thing under the hinge or whatever stupid asinine thing it is that we're doing right now. But let's take it off. And so we did, and I regretted it, and so did she. So now it actually doesn't close anymore.
Oh.
But it kind of mostly closes.
Do you get splashed or anything?
No.
Okay, so
no.
that's probably.
It is functionally functional,
Okay.
but not aesthetically functional.
It is functionally functional.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, I knew what I said was dumb as soon as I said it, but
but I like
you helped.
anyways.
The instant replay was much appreciated.
Coming back to the car,
Yeah.
I do like that part a lot. It looks really cool. I worry about it in crashes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he's, I mean, the Model S is a shockingly safe car.
It is, and this is a 5-star safety rating. So like, I don't know. Again,
I mean, that just
not
seems
an
like,
engineer.
I mean, so many, the thing about modern cars is that what has made them so safe, speeds on highways have gone up. The speeds that people travel have gone up. The incidence of injury and death in collisions have gone down dramatically in the last 50 years. Crumple zones. That's been the answer, is let the car take the brunt of it. And I don't understand how glass factors into a crumple zone unless it is that cubing glass that you find on automobiles where it's designed to go, okay, haha, I'm dead, and disintegrate into a bajillion pieces. But why would you want that type of glass above the driver and the passenger?
I thought it would be windshield glass.
Well, that's that kind.
Oh, I thought you're okay.
Yeah, so it's either designed to be rigid, in which case, it seems like a problem.
Yeah.
Or it's designed to shatter into a bazillion pieces, in which case...
But windshield glass holds together when it shatters. It visibly shatters, but it holds together.
Windshield glass. Hold on, maybe I'm thinking, is it side glass then?
Side glass.
Am I thinking of side glass
blows
only?
the hell up. Because, okay, my mom had while I was in the car, had a rock come through her driver's side window.
Back glass, same thing,
and it
right?
exploded. Window is gone. The front of the window, you can beat the crap out of the front of a car window, and it'll just
No, you're right, because you can like stick a bat through them. Okay, so, but either way then. Either answer.
What?
I don't understand.
I think I understand windshield glass a lot more.
No, but so you think this is windshield glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get like...
I mean, then in that case...
Yeah, and what someone just said, roofs aren't part of crumple zones. It would be your trunk and your front.
That's true. Okay, that's true. So as long as you don't get hit by a semi, the theory would be then that the crumple, in which case you're doomed anyway.
Yeah.
So the theory would be then that the crumple zone wouldn't actually reach the roof.
Things that kind of worry me outside of that
Yeah.
are if you get T-boned.
Yes.
And your door, like by something big.
Yeah, and the door frame, like if you get hit
Bends.
by an SUV.
Like a truck or an SUV or
Yeah.
something, and the like upper part of your door frame bends.
But then if
What
it's made
happens
of
then?
windshield glass,
Then it
assuming,
should just visibly explode, but
Yeah.
mostly hold its shape.
assuming it's affixed very securely here, here, and here,
Which it kind of looks like.
the idea would be that it could basically dent in
Yeah.
without necessarily creating a disastrous
and windshield
rain of
glass
glass.
is like layered. I think there's like glass and then plastic and then glass or
Like
something.
laminated.
Yeah, I don't
type
remember
of-
exactly
right.
what it is. Don't quote me on that. I would look it up. It's kind of cool actually, but it should visibly shatter like crazy, but then kind of hold its shape to the point where, if I remember correctly, I've seen videos of people like pulling it and it like bends, but it
Right.
still holds its shape and like will visibly blow up, but still hold its shape. I don't remember what the exact combination of things is, but it's
They're
pretty
like,
cool.
guys, stop, you know nothing about glass. Well,
that's
welcome to the WAN show.
That's true.
All
Yeah.
right, so let's talk about some of the other things we do know about the car. Price is looking to start at $35,000, which puts it right smack in range of the new Bolt that, Volt that Chevy was, Bolt that Chevy was showing off at the auto show that I just attended. Oh, that is so confusing. So yeah, Chevy Volt is the hybrid, which is a plug-in hybrid starting 2017, and then the Bolt is the pure electric. So Chevy is saying that the Bolt will be sub $30,000 in the US, assuming that you get the full federal tax credit, which I think can be
Okay.
as much as $7,500.
Okay.
But if
And
you
I
are in
don't
a
think Tesla's quoting that.
and if you are in a lower income bracket, you won't necessarily be able to take advantage of it because it is a tax refund. So it assumes that you paid $7,500 in taxes, and then
Okay.
they refund that.
Okay.
It
Interesting.
will deliver at least 215 miles of range, although we are a long way out from when the car is actually shipping, which is end of 2017. Elon Musk fairly confident, according to our notes here, that deliveries will begin by the end of 2017. So they've got time to tune it.
Means like nothing.
And that's very similar to what Chevy is quoting on the Bolt. Actually, it was actually kind of fun doing the auto show, even though, like, again, I'm not really a car guy, because I got to talk to so many people that I have like little snippets of information that are actually relevant to what we're talking about right now for a change. I don't have to kind of sit there and be like, during the car topics. It's also fairly comparable to Hyundai's Ioniq, which is, I believe, shipping now in Korea and coming soon to North America. So, yeah, really cool car. Have you seen the Ioniq?
No.
3 different drivetrains. Traditional hybrid, plug-in hybrid, so with like, I think it's about a 22 or 25 mile or 18, somewhere in the 18 to 25 mile pure electric range, and then it switches over to a gas motor for a gas engine, and then a pure electric. So 3 different drivetrains of otherwise the same basic car. Very interesting car.
Oh, so you can buy. Okay. I was like, why the
Yeah.
hell would you ever do that?
No.
Okay, I got you.
It's like, yeah, hot swap drivetrains.
It's like, that just sounds needlessly expensive for so many reasons. Okay, yeah.
So this is great. So the pre-orders in our notes are 130,000, although I think you were saying Musk has tweeted a number that's higher than that. I was talking to someone about this.
Remember what it is.
Model 3 pre-orders. Yay for having computers. 7.5 billion worth of Model 3 pre-orders in 24 hours.
20 hours ago, it was past the 150,000 mark.
So hold on a second. Let's whip out the old calculatrice here. Oh, here we go. 180,000 cars. Now, the craziest thing about this, and this is really cool, this is really smart, is that those people did more than just kind of answer a straw poll on the internet or like a Facebook event invitation, right?
Yeah. They paid $1,000 each
For the
they
privilege of pre-ordering.
Legit pre-ordered it.
Crazy. And what's really cool about that is I was actually talking to Brandon when we were at the car show about how much cash Tesla has burned over the last 18 months. It's like over $1 billion. Like they are actually, I believe they could be, it's somewhere in the, like they have somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion of cash left. Don't quote me on that exact number, but they're burning through it so fast that I was talking to Brandon. I was like, yeah, like they're gonna run out at some point here. So they're gonna have to go back for another round of investment or something. Brilliant idea. Take pre-orders, 20 months in advance, and that actually just put a significant amount of cash into the company. That actually lets them run for not an insubstantial amount of time to continue developing the Model 3 while they are still not able to actually ship cars. I mean, I should be able to do this in my head, and I feel bad for
the
not being able
$7.5
to.
billion is the total if everyone paid full price for the car, which I don't even think is possible right now. So it's about $180 million.
Yeah, so that's the cash injection they just got as effectively like a Kickstarter towards the Model 3, except that you don't actually have to pay the full amount.
Yeah.
And they don't have to give Kickstarter a cut.
Yeah.
So that is an incredible chunk of moolah in order to get things rolling over the next little bit. Oh, this is great. USA Today has pre-orders topping 198,000 as of 2 hours later than The Verge. Like, check this out. This is very much a developing story. How many pre-orders Tesla is getting on the Model 3?
Wow. I can't share topics right now because Firefox, that's basically what it is doing right now.
Firefox.
Firefox is completely crashed.
I can do it.
Give me a moment.
Which one are we linking here? Or do we lose
I
was
gonna share some of the statistics sites, but for this, I think I already shared the car.
Oh, okay, then we're good. Okay, so 5 adults will fit comfortably in the Model 3, and comfortably is apparently the important part here. All Model 3 cars will support Tesla's high-speed supercharging network as well as feature the hardware, which is interesting. They specifically said the hardware for autonomous driving features. So it's possible you will end up having to pay more in order to enable the software unlock of it. But what's cool about it coming with the hardware is it means that you could potentially buy that later on down the line, which
is a lot easier to swallow for people.
And would be really cool for things like the resale value of this type of a vehicle. So if you kind of go, no, I want to drive my car myself, but hey, you're looking to sell it, and someone else wanted the autonomous version, hey, that's pretty cool.
You can just download that kit of the car.
All models will apparently feature the full safety suite, so all of the safety features, and shoot, there was something else that was really cool that I was gonna say just now. Right, and there will be variants that will cost more. So that $7.5 billion estimate, that assumes that people are only spending the very base, right? $35,000. But there's gonna be a 2-wheel drive, there's gonna be a 4-wheel drive model, there's gonna be any number of different trim levels. So $1,000 down just means you're committed to buy one. It doesn't mean that you're committed to buy a base model. And I can imagine people spending more than $35,000 on...
okay, it was based off an average retail price of $42,000.
Oh, 42, sorry. So
didn't know that.
So thank you for that.
I just wanted to double check because I wasn't sure. I assumed they would just go for that, but like, I don't know. Can you even go through like a car configurator at this point?
I really doubt it.
I don't think so.
I don't
So then
think
how do people know what the average retail price is?
I don't know. Yeah, but
and like option mix and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure entirely how people are getting that number, because like I'm not necessarily sure, especially with a super affordable car. That's going to come with a lot of its features anyways. Like, how much extra are people necessarily going to add?
I don't know. I actually take a completely different view of it than you do. The way that I see it, like as someone who's a total cheapskate and has never bought an expensive car, one of the things that I've been waiting for to upgrade the Super Civic is an electric vehicle that makes sense. So for me, if I'm kind of going, okay, I have, the Super Civic is a 2003 that I've been driving since 2006. And so for a 10-year investment, Do I really want to do to myself what I did to myself last time, cheaping out and not getting air conditioning? And
is this thing gonna not come with air conditioning?
No,
like that's what I mean. Like without a kit configurator.
AC is usually extra.
Really? From Tesla?
Well, but the thing is, Tesla's cars cost 6 figures right now.
Yeah.
So it would be a base model feature, but this is a $35,000 car, so I don't know.
Without a kit configurator.
It's impossible to say.
Yeah.
But I could see myself investing in some extra creature comforts if
I wouldn't
I'm
be too surprised either. Like,
real deal, I'm going to keep it 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I could totally see that. I'm just saying, like, just deciding on that number is maybe a little weird. Anyways.
So this is interesting. Here's a blog post from Elon Musk, August 2nd, 2006, where he outlined the master plan, which has actually totally come to fruition. Blah, blah, blah. As you know, Tesla Roadster is the first car. It's a sports car. I am going to use the money we make on this to make something more affordable. Enter the Model S. Then I'm going to use the money from that to make something that is much more affordable. Enter the Model 3. So basically he said 10 years ago what he was going to do, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. So here's the summary. The rest of the automotive industry had 10 years to react to this master plan that he actually put in plain and simple English on the TeslaMotors.com blog, and only Chevy looks like they have somewhat reacted to it.
Properly tried.
Yeah. With that said, I do see the electric car as a secondary vehicle for most people still. Even the Model 3. With
secondary vehicle?
I see it as a second. I see
like
it
like
as
the second family car kind of deal.
Not necessarily even the second one, but I see it as a car for people who have 2 vehicles, because the range and recharging considerations make it so that if I wanted to go on a family road trip, and I realize you can just rent a van and do things like that, but aside from the cost,
and
it
it's
is
much less common for road trips these days.
Very inconvenient. So
is it that bad? If you're going on a road trip, you could plan out supercharging stations.
You could.
215 miles a day is
not that much.
No, if you're doing a family road trip, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, do you need to slam? Like, I don't know.
That's true, but I mean...
I don't know. I don't feel like I would need to buy an entirely different car on the off chance that I wanted to do a family road trip and book it the whole time.
But would you, as someone who only has a single car, would you buy a pure electric then?
Sure.
You think so?
Here it would be a little bit harder.
Well, I live here.
I would also probably be completely fine. Because the craziest stuff I do is drive to Kitsilano and back.
So,
which is completely covered in 215 miles.
I guess what I'm trying to say
many times
is I can see why everyone else, not everyone, but many others are betting so much more heavily now on hybrid electric. Or excuse me, plug-in hybrid is what everyone's calling it, where it has an electric motor. And some of them are very reasonable. Like I think the Prius Prime is able to do something like 85 miles an hour on the electric motor. Like it's not, or 77 or something, whatever. It's like highway cruising very comfortably, very quickly speed. And with a range of about 22 miles, it's like everyone's in like that high teens to low to mid 20s range. With a range like that, I do kind of see it as best of both worlds, where you can do your daily commute probably on the electric motor, and then the gas engine, which has got a range of 300 to 350 miles on most of the cars that I was looking at. That'll handle anything that is not covered by pure electric. That strikes me as a potentially much more convenient solution if you only have one car. So while I agree with you, depending on your lifestyle, pure electric could be the one car. If I was going to make a $35,000 investment that I was planning to keep for however many years, I also definitely see the value of a plug-in hybrid.
I understand that. I just think the amount of people that expect to drive 107.5 miles in one direction and back a day is a little crazy. The amount of times people are going to go on a road trip, it would be very cost effective to save the money not buying a plug-in hybrid and just buying an electric and then just renting a car.
Unless a plug-in hybrid is very similarly priced to a pure electric.
If it is, but I don't see the added literal mechanics that have to go into the car, not making some other form of difference to make it the same price.
Yep.
You might lose a trim level somewhere, you might lose something in order to make it the same price. I feel like that would happen because you're literally adding things to the car.
So you're thinking potentially even longer term than me, where you don't want to do any maintenance on the car pretty much, other than replacing your battery pack periodically.
That isn't even what I was saying, but that is a very good point, and I'll take it.
Oh.
What I was saying was literally putting those functions in the car would increase the raw cost of the car.
Right.
So like trim level would have to go down or something to make it an equal price.
Remember too, though, that they have much smaller batteries, like way smaller batteries, and that is a huge part of the cost of an electric car.
Super sucks then.
Yes, but I mean, well, they have much lower range to correspond to their much smaller batteries.
Yeah.
Here's another consideration, though. So Musk also said that the Model 3 is going to be capable of 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. No one's quoting 0 to 60 times on the plug-in hybrids that I saw at the auto show. So I don't expect those electric, everyone's quoting top speeds, which does not mean that you're getting torque off the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably still be doing okay because it is an electric motor, but it is not the same kind of electric motor that you would find in a Model S or even a Model 3.
Which, like, some people are gonna say, like, oh yeah, well, like, I can't speed because it's illegal or whatever. Anyways, having fast pickup is actually very, very helpful.
Very useful. It's one of the things that I like most about riding on a motorbike.
Motorcycle, yeah.
Is the fact that people say, hey, riding on a motorcycle is really dangerous. And if you get hit, you're probably dead on the highway. Like, to be realistic, I think motorcycle helmets have any functionality up to about 60 to 65 kilometers an hour. Past that, they do pretty much nothing. You might as well be wearing a baseball hat. Don't tell my wife I said that. I'm actually putting the bike back on the road very, very soon.
Awesome.
But
That's sick.
one of the counter arguments that I make about riding a bike is that A, my visibility is so much better than you because I actually have my full field of vision with no obstructions whatsoever. B, I am smaller than you. So someone can actually be encroaching on my lane by a meter, and I can still be in my lane and not being hit by that person.
Yeah.
Number 3 is I am way more agile than you. So as long as I have my head on a swivel...
I have seen a motorcycle dodge an accident that another car ended up getting in. I have seen it on the road. He saw it coming and I was just supposed to have stepped on it, but that's not really how that works. Got out of there really quickly, and then the car ended up careening into someone else.
Having fast pickup, I would argue, based on my experience as a rider, if you have your eyes not just on the road, but all around you, having fast pickup is as important or more important than fast braking if you want to avoid accidents. And it's one of the things I like most about my bike is it makes me much more able to avoid a bad situation.
Things are much more on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being a defensive rider is, while I'm not going to say safe, is not as dangerous as I think people would potentially believe if they had only ever been behind the wheel of a car and had never ridden a bike.
Right.
So I definitely see having torque as a very important safety feature of a vehicle.
There was even, I don't remember who did it, but they did a video on their electric car showing that it was slower than a whole bunch of other cars. But then they showed that, like, off the line, it was really fast. And they're like, yeah, you're not going to get the top speed at, like, a few miles of, like, this Challenger or whatever.
Yeah.
But in a city, when all that really matters is you maybe being able to get in front of the other person right after the intersection.
Make that light.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff. Like, you can do those things very effectively, which is probably all you're really going to be able to use anyways. Because you're probably not going to take this car to a track, and that's realistically the only time that you'd be able to use that.
Yep.
So, like, that's actually kind of interesting.
So let's move on to our next topic. I just realized we have spent like 20 minutes talking about the Model 3.
I mean, I'm on the show, so...
I'm sorry?
I'm on the show and we're talking about electric cars. So we could just keep going, it's fine.
Yeah, I know, right?
Virtual reality or electric cars, it's fine. It'll be okay.
So this was originally posted by Nine Shadow on the forum. Lawmakers pushing to make owning an unregistered prepaid phone illegal in the US. So the original article here is from Android Authority. And yes, Matrix references are very clever. Authority. So there's a new bill in the works called the Prepaid Mobile Device Security Gap Act of 2016. If it passes, anyone who purchases a prepaid cell phone will be forced to register their identity with the device. And this law is being pushed forward by Jackie Speyer, a Democratic representative from California. So supporters of the bill are saying that it's a solution to the loophole that is allowing, ne'er-do-wells to purchase prepaid phones as ways to conduct their illicit business.
And that's definitely a thing.
And that is definitely a reality.
One thing that I wonder about these days, though, is like, you ban this, they're just going to buy smartphones without a plan and start using other applications.
A lot more expensive. 2-bit drug dealers can't afford to run out and buy...
There's $20 smartphones now.
Hold on a second. Yeah, but if you were to buy that, then you would have to...
What if you buy it off a plan?
You would have to register their identity with the device.
Off a plan.
Well, that's what people are doing right now, is they're buying devices. Oh, wait, so we're talking about prepaid cell phones.
Yeah, this would not be you would not have cellular. So you buy a $20 smartphone off a plan and then use Wi-Fi and whatnot.
You could, but the thing about...
Because you could even hotspot...
Wi-Fi is quite traceable, though. Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, Wi-Fi gives you the location. That gives you potentially a security camera feed nearby. Like if you were making calls off Wi-Fi.
No, I was thinking making a hotspot from your phone.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but then even then, that can be traced back to that device again. So
VPNs and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't think it's the hardest thing to get around.
I would argue that the average 2-bit drug dealer does not know how to use a VPN.
Okay, that's probably fair. But then they just need like one techie dude in their crew to hook them up with cell phones.
Yeah, but I would argue that probably many of them do not have that. And if they did, that's a more elegant solution than running around buying prepaids all the time.
We need more of those like
anyway.
Classic gangster squad groups where there's like the hacker guy on the laptop and like the thug dude and then like the funny guy that drives the car and like Anyways, that's how crime works.
Every
in
movie
my mind.
ever.
Yeah.
It's like that's your major in crime school. It's like which dude you are.
Yeah. Wow, that's perfect. I wonder how many people remember crime school.
More than you'd think.
Yeah.
People have been bringing it up to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess to me, this doesn't feel so much like taking away a freedom as closing a gap that was introduced accidentally, because it's not like when phones were introduced, a line wasn't tied to a physical address, and then later on when cell phones were introduced, a line wasn't tied to a person who also had a physical address.
When the Yellow Pages started, was it literally everyone was in it? Like everyone with a...
Yeah, White Pages, and you're so young. So the Yellow Pages are for businesses, and the White Pages are for individuals.
Well, my book had both of them in it. We actually did use it. It's been a long time. Yeah. Anyways.
But yes.
Yeah.
So it used to be that you actually would contact.
I had looked up people that I knew in the, I guess, White Pages, like when I was a kid, in order to be like, I know this dude's name, but I don't remember his phone number, and then I could just find him, literally.
Yep. And you would just like call all the like P. Fernandez until you reach the right one.
Yeah. There might be a few of the same name or whatever, but.
So it used to be that you actually had to pay to not be included. So you had to. I think it was either BCTEL that you contacted, or it was Yellow Pages, or Can Pages, or whatever they were called at the time.
Yeah.
It's Can Pages now. I think it used to be. So you would contact them, and then there was a processing fee involved, and you could get an unlisted number. That was where unlisted numbers came from. So. So the whole idea of being able to have a phone line anonymously is actually very new. So I can see why they want to close this gap. I really doubt that this law will be pushed through. And if it is pushed through, I doubt there will be any real way to enforce this. Because in much the same way that you can go to NCIX and you can tell them your name is John Smith and create a customer profile around that.
The law isn't about buying phones and having them registered. The law is about being on a plan. Having a pay-as-you-go plan. That's unregistered.
So I guess what I don't understand is if you have a pay-as-you-go plan, what prevents you then from, okay, sorry, not phone then, SIM
Plan,
or
it's
refill
more about
card.
the SIMs and stuff. Yeah.
Refill card. So if I have a pay-as-you-go plan, what prevents me from registering it with fake information? And you could say, yes, there will be all these regulations in place to prevent you from doing that, but at the end of the day, that's not going to stop, Joe Two-Bit, corner store guy from actually, like walking to your house and verifying that you actually live there? Like what personal information are we expecting people to submit in order to register for their prepaid plan?
Can you buy, I guess you can probably buy prepaid stuff. I wonder if it's going to stop online sales of prepaid stuff. You might have to show your driver's license in store.
Maybe, but then how will you enforce that? I mean, I guess what you can do then is you can make it the problem of the corner store, and then you can shut them down. But it's going to be a long and uphill battle.
Yeah,
People are saying you could ask for a social security number. I mean, come on. What do you have to provide your social security number?
That's brutal.
Like, that's terrible.
That's really brutal.
If that's the solution,
and I'm not giving,
then I oppose this.
Yeah, I'm not giving my SIN or SSN or whatever to any random corner store or big box store employee. There's no way that's happening.
Yeah.
Not in a freaking lifetime.
I mean,
not some employee who will have my name, address, phone number on file with my social security or whatever.
And identity theft shot up 3,000% in the state of California.
It's like the worst idea. Oh my god.
Yeah. So no, that would be terrible.
I refused to go to Nick Light switched gyms. We used to work out together, and he switched gyms. And then the new gym, they take your bank account information and then withdraw money directly from your bank account. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to your gym. Because it's just, I don't like that.
They can't just take a credit card?
No. They refuse to take credit card. They refuse to take cash. They refuse to take...
It's like a 3% processing fee.
It has to be on-time billing, and it has to be withdrawn directly from your bank account.
But then you can get overdrawn.
I know. I was just like, nah, dude, I'm out. I don't know. I don't like giving people that kind of information. Like, checks passing back and forth in my mind is insane. I don't really want people knowing it anyways. Yeah. Just insanity.
Speaking of insanity, sponsors! They're insane to sponsor us. Wait, no, I shouldn't say that. You should sponsor us. So if you guys, by some freaking miracle, are watching the WAN show today and don't already know anything about Squarespace, I'm gonna run you guys through it. Squarespace has 24/7 support via live chat and email that
you should
contact if you have any difficulty setting up your own beautiful website.
You should
choose between any of the gorgeous templates that they have that work great, whether it's on a laptop or on a phone, and
you should
use all of their awesome tools for creating your own logo, arranging all your pictures, updating the copy on the website, making it so that you can spend your time building a beautiful website instead of dinking around with technical stuff. Now, if
you should
find yourself in a situation where you have a lot of technical skill and you want to make updates to the page that aren't included in the template, Squarespace has got you covered there too, and you can get in and start tinkering under the hood to a limited degree if
you should
find that to be something that you find appealing. Now, the best thing about Squarespace is that all you have to do, should you wish to start a trial, is sign up with no credit card required and start building your website today. And when you decide to sign up for Squarespace over the long term, then
you should
make sure to use offer code Linus to get 10% off your first purchase. We are getting good at this.
We are getting pretty good at this. I was a little bit lagging behind because I was reading the Twitch chat that was talking about something we were just talking about, and then I forgot we were going to do that. But then I glommed on there a little bit after that.
So on the subject of taking credit card and how easy it is, maybe that gym should get themselves a FreshBooks account.
Oh my god, that would be way better.
Because...
Not even just saying
FreshBooks is the solution to your small business accounting needs, whether you want to track your expenses, track your hours, bill your customers, take deposits, get payment from your customers, and they support a variety of different payment methods, including allowing you, the business owner, to see that the customer has received your electronic invoice, which is very, very cool. So they can be like, oh yeah, man, I totally didn't get your email.
No, I didn't read it.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Yeah, I just got it today. Yeah, no, you didn't. So FreshBooks is great, whether you're a plumber, you run a small dance studio, you do small-time computer repair.
I love how the examples
are always your
FreshBooks
parents.
is just my parents or me. It's just like my family.
Okay, no, let's come up with something that no one in your family has ever done.
That's going to be
let's say for example, driving for the local movie productions that are being done here. Or say, for example, doing some work for the fire department in the city of Langley. Or, I don't know, teaching at a community college here in Vancouver. Immigration assistance,
yeah.
Or maybe, I'm gonna come up with something here.
Warehouser.
Dang it.
On the job tech guy.
Anyway, the point is, if you have any questions about FreshBooks, all you've got to do is reach out to their support staff, where you will talk to a real human, and they will help you with whatever it is you're having trouble with, and you can get a 30-day trial for free at freshbooks.com/WAN. Make sure you type WAN in the How Did You Hear About Us section, by the way, and this is cool. They just got a mobile card reader as well, so you can take credit card not only electronically, but also on the spot. Yes. So FreshBooks allows you to spend your time developing your business instead of staring at your computer at the end of the day when you're frankly already very tired and worrying about accounting crap.
Yes. You want to hear about another stupid gym payment story?
Sure. We have a lot of topics to cover this week, though, and we have done nothing.
There's a really cool gym in Langley that I liked a lot. Went there a few times, tried to get a membership there. The problem was you have to pay on the exact same day every single month, and you have to pay in cash in an envelope, and if you miss it, your key fob dies. And you can't come in, you have to make an appointment with the guy that owns it, and then you can pay again. So I was there for a month, and then never again.
I could have told him that you're not organized enough to do that.
Well, I was literally out of the country for work. And I was like, this is going to happen way too much. I'm out of here. So yeah, anyways.
Okay, let's talk about Holoportation.
Yes.
Original article here is from Gizmodo. And that is some cool shiz that we got going on right there.
So right now you're seeing it where he's scaled it down quite a bit, but realistically this is a previous recording. He's the one facing away from the main camera here. That's him and his daughter. That's a previous recording that he had just done in that room like minutes before he shows this demo. So what he's trying to show is that you can do it in real time. You can have conversations with people or your family or your coworkers or whatever, and then you could theoretically play it back. So if you want to like relive a memory, so say you had your family over for dinner, and you had everyone hanging out in the family room afterwards.
And your family was crazy and said crazy stuff and denied it later.
You could record it and then give it to everyone in the family to either relive those fantastic memories or to prove your accusations later on, I guess, is where that may or may not have been going. But this is cool for a whole bunch of reasons. One of them is being able to have people there, say in family situations that might live across the country. Mm-hmm. Other ones are different companies that might not have everyone working in the same place. We're in the same place. Some larger companies have multiple offices around the world. If you want to work with someone, it is actually legitimately kind of easier to do things if you feel like you're in the same room. And these things,
how out of business are these guys?
Are so dumb in my opinion. I've never been into these. They like, you can control them and like wheel them around and there's a screen on it and a webcam, and they just don't matter in my opinion at all. Oh, I have to go up the stairs. You want to pick me up? I'm probably pretty heavy. You can put me up there and then I can keep wheeling around. I don't know. I always thought that was kind of a stupid thing, but this is actually kind of cool. if you go to the video and probably mute it, but go to the very beginning, he's interacting with a dude. Now, to be fair, all of this looks like it was kind of previously recorded because the skits are just so bad, but it might actually just be because the skits are so bad that it feels like it was previously recorded. Before he even said that you could record them, I thought they were recordings. So this, yeah, he's interacting with this guy. So theoretically, there you go. You see he kind of like teleports into the room. And you can tell he's digital, but it's pretty good.
That's crazy, hey?
Yeah, so one thing to note is that the camera that's filming this has HoloLens equipment-y stuff on it so that it can overlay things in real time.
Yep.
But that's not obviously exactly what you would see. So what the HoloLens would actually more kind of see is in the bottom left-hand corner. So the color is much less accurate. It doesn't look nearly as good.
Yeah.
But you can see where it's going, and this is a dev kit or whatever, so it's pretty cool. See,
wow,
like, they can't actually high five.
Very, very cool, though.
It's super, and you can
cameras
see...
Cameras
yes,
out the
I was
wazoo.
just going to say, you can see the cameras, and there's more of them behind them. There's cameras all throughout the room, and they're actually pretty crazy cameras. So.
Yeah.
This is maybe not gonna like be in your home right away, but a super cool this will actually eventually happen kind of deal. And once they get them down to the size of like kind of the lighthouse sensors for the Vive, which at this point I'm way more excited for than the Rift, but that's maybe for a different day. Once they get them down to that size and the HoloLens isn't this like giant thing that you have to wear on your face and it's more like glasses, that's gonna be insane. Absolutely insane. Ugh. I don't know. I really like the idea of telecommuting.
Yeah.
Not necessarily telecommunication, but telecommuting, like being able to go to work digitally. I think that's going to be super cool, especially for congestion and population density in crazy cities. Because if we get better internet infrastructure outside of just cities, and people are able to commute to work, which is 10 hours away, instantaneously, that's awesome. We don't have to have everyone in these crazy high-rises right really close to their work all the time.
Yep.
And we don't have problems like in Vancouver where our land in actual Vancouver is fairly restricted and everyone has to live super far out and houses cost
Mountains,
like $2 million.
Water, United States of America.
Yeah,
congestion.
It's like yes, exactly. So people being able to telecommute into Vancouver would help so many things.
I mean, for employers, it'd be great if I could hire someone where I just kind of go, okay, so you're proposing that I pay your relocation costs, your labor market impact assessment charge, which by the way is very expensive with the lawyers involved and all that. Like we hired an American a little while ago, not easier for him, but we looked into the LMIA. It is very expensive, very complicated, and very time consuming.
There's a company in Vancouver, Hootsuite, who has recently released a blog talking about how it's becoming excessively difficult for them to hire anyone because it's becoming excessively difficult for talented young people to live in Vancouver.
Yeah. So
there's a mass exodus of like young talent in Vancouver. We don't live in Vancouver for a very specific reason because it's too freaking expensive to live.
So this makes life a little bit better for employers because I can say, okay, how about this? Instead of paying your relocation costs and all of those other associated fees, why don't I just set you up like a space where you're going to kind of live? And then if I ever want to talk to you, then I'll flip on my presumably much more high-tech and much less clunky HoloLens glasses.
Yes,
I'll pay for you to have a setup next to your desk that you actually just set aside at your house, wherever you live. And if I ever need to talk to you, I'll know where you are.
Yeah, no, seriously. And you could literally have like just a corner or whatever, because it doesn't have to be very fancy on your end, but just where they sit, theoretically. And you could go see them. Quite physically, you could see them working at their desk and you could be like, what's that? And it could be projected and everything could be kind of cool. I don't know.
Very cool. Speaking of things that are cool, this was originally posted by CUDA Cores on the forum, and the original article here is from WCCF Tech. And the Intel Broadwell-EP family has been launched. So this is the Xeon E5 2600 V4 family based on the Broadwell architecture. So the servers are actually lagging more than a full architecture behind the desktop products these days. But the good news about this means that Extreme Edition on LGA 2011-3 can't be far behind. So hopefully we'll be getting some new enthusiast desktop Extreme Edition chips that aren't based on Sorry, what are they? They're still Haswell based, aren't they? Yeah. So Intel's actually spanning 3 architectures right now. They're running Skylake on the mainstream desktop. They've got Broadwell based chips on the server side, and then they are still running Haswell on the enthusiast side, which is like, anyway. So they finally launched them. They make use of their 14 nanometer core architecture, increased core count, core IPC improvements, as we already know, because there's not a whole lot we don't know about this.
Yeah.
We're talking Haswell to Broadwell. This is like happened a while ago. And better performance per watt compared to the existing chips.
The main cool thing, 22 threads, multi-threaded.
22 cores.
Or 22 cores, sorry, 44 threads.
Yeah, right there, baby. So of course I'll be calling up my contacts at Intel and being like, "Yo, I want 2. 1 is not enough. No one CPU can be enough for me."
We're getting into, with GPU announcements on the horizon and this kind of happening. We're getting into compensator territory again.
Yep.
Because compensator can't. I had someone message me the other day, and they're like, "How are you going to do one when he just made the 7 gamers 1 CPU $30,000 computer? How do you make a compensator, which was not nearly as expensive as that, when that just happened?" I think it can still happen.
I think so.
Because it's more, the compensator was never like literally the most insane thing you can possibly build.
No.
It was like, what are the most expensive but still consumer kind of things that you can get? Not dual CPU motherboards.
And intended for one user.
Yes.
The compensator machine delivers more horsepower to a single user than 7 gamers 1 CPU could have, actually.
Yeah.
On the GPU side of things, anyway.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's no reason why we can't still do a compensator. In fact, I've already got GPUs lined up for it.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I wonder what those are.
I actually don't know. All I know is that I'm getting whatever they are. Seriously. Not even joking.
That's awesome.
It's like, it's NDA, so no one can tell me anything.
They're like, yes, you are getting them.
You'll get a thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
So 7.2 billion transistors on a 456 millimeter square die. Where's the, 22 cores maximum. That is freaking insane. 3 die variants. Oh, this is interesting. So this is not necessarily the traditional way of doing multiple CPU SKUs. So what we've seen in sort of more traditionally in the past is that the Xeon and the Pentium 4 would have been based on the exact same die, just with a couple of features laser cut off of the Pentium 4 one or whatever else, and anything from a 2.4 to a 3.46 gigahertz or whatever would have all been based on the exact same die, and it's just a binning process. Well, now we've got 3 dies, one that can accommodate 4 to 10 cores with 3.4 billion transistors, one from 12 to 15 with 4.7 billion, and the flagship 16 to 24 core with 7 point whatever billion transistors.
So epic.
Freaking cool.
So epic.
What can they tell us about this one? I want to know what it boosts to. 2.2 gigahertz base, 3.6 boost. Not bad.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Oh.
I did not think it was going to boost to that at all.
And it tells us on a per core basis. Do you know how hard it is to find this chart for anything from Intel? Seriously. Have you ever tried to find the actual boost breakdown?
I actually have, and I have actually failed.
It is so annoying. So this is, wow, look how aggressive Turbo Boost 2.0 is here. So up to 11 cores. 11 cores, and so up to 10 cores. You're getting anywhere from plus 18 over the base 1.8 frequency. I don't know why they even call it a base frequency if you're gonna do plus 8. So, okay, so here, let me do the math. So with 22 cores active, you get 18 plus 8, so 2.6 gigahertz. And then with as few as like 3 or 4 cores active, you can actually get up pretty close. You can get like 3.3 gigahertz. Very, very interesting. So the 2683 V4 is a very interesting SKU because it's got a very similar base frequency to the 2699. It's got 16 cores, which is still an awful lot, by the way. only 2 fewer than the previous flagship at 18, and it turbos up almost the same up to its full 16 cores, which not necessarily all of them do. Oh, this one's sexy too. The 2697 V4. That's an 18 core. So that would be a direct replacement for the 2699 V3 that I have now, but looks like it can actually turbo up more aggressively. Base frequency of 2.0. Man, there's a lot of SKUs this time around. Very, very, very interesting. Goes all the way down to quad cores. So that gets me excited. Not necessarily all of you, but whatever.
I don't really care about that one. What is your
let's do some of the April Fool's jokes that have been around there. This was posted by Elfin Sky on the forum. So Razer did Project Breadwinner, the Razer toaster, which it appears they actually did produce toast with Razer logos on it in order to make the video of. They put so much work into this video.
Oh yeah.
Like, as a video production company, I can tell you guys that with all the different talents that they had, including some fairly notable game streamers and internet personalities, like where's what's his face, Mr. Castles over there? He's in here. Where'd he go? They probably cut him out a lot because there he is. Look at this guy. Anyway, they put a lot of freaking work into this thing. Honestly, in my opinion, at 6 minutes, the joke is kind of old by that point, especially because it's obviously April Fool's.
When I clicked on it, I was very surprised at how long it was.
But I will say, though, that
it was good.
NZXT's was probably a little short.
I was going to wait till we got to that one, but yeah, what the heck?
And a little bit low effort. Oh wait, what is this? Press release?
But the actual landing page seems kind of fine. Have you noticed that?
Here, where?
Because all I saw at first was the, and they super try to harvest your email with a pop-up right away.
Wow.
Which is super lame.
Way to
Thanks,
go, guys.
Just kind of wanted to enjoy April Fool's joke. Already on your mailing list. Didn't need that. Anyways. They did some like weird VR thing with like VR's in the heel, which was a little excessive. They should have just gone with the lighting joke.
Yeah.
And the video, which I don't know where it is. I think it's up
here.
More. There you go.
The video is
so
like the most half-assed thing I've ever seen. Like it's not like it's just a static image.
Yeah. And like it's literally a product that's actually been made. Like those shoes exist. And like that's not even that far off for NZXT to make them. To be completely honest,
this is probably the most believable one that I've seen.
I thought this was actually kind of cool. I kind of wish there was GeForce GTX energy drinks.
Yeah, so just an energy drink. Get your drink.
Like if you buy like a, they only come in packs up to 4. You can buy like SLI packs. You get like a slight discount if you buy like dual SLI. And if you SLI them together,
which is funny because you don't in real life.
No, I know.
On video cards,
I know. If you buy them together, you can like click them together and then drink from like one thing, but it's both of them or something. I don't know. It would be kind of cool.
So that was.
I thought that was done really well.
That was pretty cute. They've got graphs for increasing your reaction time and such sort of.
Yeah, people are saying like I would actually buy this and stuff. Like yeah, that would actually be kind of cool.
This is really trippy. Look at this. I'm like clicking here and it's going down.
That's actually really weird.
There, I found it. What the heck? There, I found it. So this is how fast you are without it. This is how fast you are with it. It's just obviously a sped up video of the same clip, which is I think Nvidia
exactly
put
how they should have done it.
The right amount of effort into their April Fool's joke.
The NZXT thing seems like an afterthought that they put a good web designer on, and then we're like, try to get this out really quickly, and oh yeah, don't forget, make sure you try to harvest as many emails as you possibly can when they try to watch this, which kind of sucked. The Nvidia thing actually seemed really genuinely good. The Razer thing seems like they got super massively into it. This is so cool. I actually ended up watching a fair amount of these videos because they're just kind of awesome. Have you?
No, I actually haven't watched any of the videos.
Do you know anything about this?
Not much.
Okay, so it actually doesn't explain it that well here. So what's really going on is they had Snoop Dogg sit in a theater with some other, I'm assuming, YouTube employees, and they watch the videos on a big theater screen, so like this, and he just comments the video from the background. So you can like turn it around and look at him, and he'll just like talk about the video while it's playing. But it's Snoop Dogg, so it's awesome. And then you can rotate it back and actually like watch the video. It's actually kind of cool. What was frustrating was like I'd watch some random video on YouTube and it would have a Snoopavision or whatever it's called. I think it's called Snoopavision
Yeah.
logo, and I'd be like, oh sweet, like they did this one. That's so cool. But then no, there's just a little set of the ones that they did. There's obviously not everything. So like that water blue one is actually done in Snoopavision. So it's 360 and you can turn the camera around and see him sitting there and talking about it. It's actually kind of cool. Binge On Up was pretty funny. This was one where they put a ton of effort into it and it actually like kind of worked out.
No. Sorry.
What was that?
That was them wanting to know my location.
Oh. So it's a like a headset thing that just makes it so that your phone is like in front of your face. It goes with their binge on thing where you can watch tons of different services without using your data. So their whole idea is like, well, if you're using that service and it's not using your data, you can just do it all the time.
Yeah, the problem is that Rick Mercer's already done it, and if an amazing Canadian like Rick Mercer has already done it, then you lose.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago. This is when BlackBerry was relevant. I love this video. See? Rick Mercer, genius. Oh no, never mind. His didn't actually have a spot for the helmet. Never mind. Sorry, it had a signal booster and it made it so that if you walk into okay, so no. Rick Mercer has not quite done it.
I'm pretty sure this thing's been done though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a phone holder. You know what's really funny is I actually would like a product sort of like this, except for the bed headrest or the headboard. Have I talked to you about that?
No, it just makes sense.
Yeah, like
because the amount of times I'll be like this. I'm really tired and then drop it. It just smacks right in the face.
And it'd be perfect for things like a Kindle as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love reading in bed, but like you get uncomfortable on this side. Then you get uncomfortable with that. Like if you could build a versatile enough arm that it's strong enough to hold a Kindle, a tablet, or a real book even. And then you could just have it so you could like turn the pages and just like have like a clip on. Oh man, that would be like the most comfortable way to read ever.
Might even be a thing.
I would never get out of my bed ever again.
Yeah.
So who gets your vote for the best April Fool's joke?
I enjoyed Snoopavision the most.
Enjoyed Snoopavision the most?
I think Nvidia's was very well executed. I enjoyed Snoopavision
more believable.
The most. Yeah.
Like it's gotten to the point where I think there's a fine line where
between ad campaign and April Fool's joke.
Yeah, and between making it funny because it's April Fool's versus actually trying to fool people.
Was yours actually trying to fool people though?
Mine was trying to walk the fine line where I was pretty sure that some people would believe it, but that I wanted people to mostly know that I wasn't serious by the time they reached the end of the video.
That's like a semi-dangerous thing for people to think is actually happening.
Yeah, I don't want people to actually... And you know what, though? I think as much as a lot of people posted on the video, like, this was super obvious and you guys are idiots. This is just another bad video that you've made. The number of people that also have, like, not just publicly, like, ha 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 ha, I am playing along with the April Fool. Wow, you got me. But the number of people that have reached out to me privately asking if it actually happened.
I don't think I've had any of those. That's funny. Oh, man.
So I think we walked the line just right.
Yeah, because I liked it. I was just trying to dissect your point, I guess. But yeah, I like the R's. Yeah, Nvidia I think had a very well executed one. I enjoyed YouTube's the most, which I'm not too surprised about.
YouTube always does such a great job.
There's more Google ones in here that I guess didn't make it into the doc, like I think it's called the Google Parachute.
Yeah, that's in here.
Oh, never mind.
Parachute by Google Express. I was skipping past it because we're really close to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and this one's kind of annoying because, it worked for you. I had to put in a zip code before I could actually see it, but this one's kind of funny. Shop anywhere, anytime, and it like parachutes you whatever you're buying. I thought it was pretty funny.
Probably not.
I think it's kind of funny because like Amazon, like,
Probably not that far off.
Might get to this point with drones where you could be like walking around town and be like, I want a soft drink, and it just like brings you one. Like, I wouldn't even be that surprised if that ends up happening. So like, I don't know. That one definitely didn't win for me because I was just like, that could totally be a thing. Maybe not with parachutes, but like.
All right, let's jump through some of our rapid fire topics here. First up, we've got that AMD announces the FirePro S9300X2 dual Fiji for HPC. So, yeah, pretty much it's a Fury Pro Duo, except with a completely different everything about it, except for the GPU cores themselves.
$6,000.
Yeah, different PCB, different cooling design. So these are designed to be in a chassis where the cooling is taken care of by the chassis. So there's no fan, so it just goes in here and then out the back. And it's got an awful lot of stream processors, and it's got a big boost clock, and there's 2 GPUs on it. Oh, I'm a little surprised that it's only got 4 gigs of VRAM. 300 watt. All I have to say about this is that Polaris and Pascal can't come soon enough. I am so tired of talking about 28 nanometer GPUs.
Yup. Windows 10 is possibly getting, I guess, Ubuntu's bash and Linux command line, which is kind of crazy. So apparently you can write .sh scripts on Windows, and they're getting command line and stuff because they're baking that into Windows 10, and I have no idea why they're doing this.
Well, DOS is gone, so people might want it.
I know, but like, I'm like, okay, I like that it's happening.
I mean,
I don't understand it from a Microsoft perspective.
Is anyone complaining about PowerShell?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe they're...
I don't see this changing anyone's mind on anything.
So you don't understand why they wouldn't just make PowerShell better? Or...
well, people being more used to things and stuff is cool, but like, okay, I don't know how to phrase this properly. I understand why this is going to be cool for people. I'm surprised Microsoft did it, and I don't understand why they did it. Like, what would be your inspiration as a Microsoft employee to be like, we should do this?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Want basically everything they've done since Nadella took over has been about increasing the install base, making sure to not only not continue to lose, not continue to erode the latest version of Windows install base, but claw back market share. Claw it back from piracy, claw it back from Apple, claw it back from even Linux, however insignificant that install base might be within certain user groups, because there would be educational institutions, for example, that would have compelling reasons to use and would use Linux. And in those cases, I would see something like this being the thing that could make us go, okay, now we could have these elements of both worlds with this via this new Linux subsystem within Windows 10.
I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's cool.
If the objective is to actually try to sell your product by doing things that are good for your users, then I get it. It's just
doesn't
that
seem like a Microsoft move. That's why I'm confused. Like that's the yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
saying it's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. When I read that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. Makes things easier in a whole bunch of different ways. That's awesome. It just doesn't seem like Microsoft. That's all. I don't know.
Apple is developing batteries to improve energy capacity in devices. This was posted by Sans Varmic on the forum, and the original article here is from PC World. I guess that's about like saying that Apple is developing screens that display images to the users of their phones. But I'm sure there is more to it than that. I mean, maybe it's not.
They're
quite.
Focusing on ceramic.
Maybe it's not quite the same as that, because Apple actually hasn't done pretty much anything to their battery capacity other than release the iPhone 6 Plus, which just is bigger and has a bigger battery in it in the last little while. I sure wish they would just do a thicker phone with a higher capacity battery, please. Not that they'll ever listen to me. I'm sure they don't care what I have to say.
You weren't on the show for that. What do you think about the SE? Because you like small phones.
I think that they're desperate. I think that they straight up are pulling a Samsung and going, we can't figure out how to sell more phones, so let's just throw more models at the problem.
Okay.
That's what I think happened.
You're not excited because it's small or anything?
I think they are. I think they're basically slashing price without trying to. I think they are putting off for as long as possible slashing the price of the flagship device by creating an entry-level tier. I think it didn't work well last time with the iPhone 5C, but I think that the reason that didn't work was that the 5C was built from the ground up to be cheap in a way that was very obvious, unapologetically obvious.
I hate that word.
And then there's the issue with what they've done in the past, where they've just sold previous generation devices, but those were not designed to be cheap devices, and I think the manufacturing costs are higher, so I can see why they're doing it. They're building something from the ground up to be cheap, but not that cheap, and they are giving, and they're taking the fight to the entry-level smartphone makers, sort of, at least in the best way that Apple can do that from a pricing standpoint. But I think they basically just aren't sure what to do to keep selling more phones, because much like with many other devices, phones are really getting to the point where, yes, the Galaxy S7 is marvelous and I'm going to be switching to it, but if I already owned a Galaxy S6 and I actually paid for phones, I sure as heck wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. University of California Irvine?
Hold on, I wanted to touch on a little bit more about this. So focusing on ceramic as the electrolyte, they've proven in labs that they can provide faster charging and safer batteries, which is a concern. They're also hiring people that can take battery technology from the lab to the factories, and they already got granted a patent for developing a solid-state battery. This could be considered the next big technology in battery research.
Good.
So, good.
Cool. University of California Irvine announces an esports scholarship. So by the start of 2016, 6 private schools had developed scholarships based on the game, which is League of Legends in this kind of context. This is the first public state-run school to officially support esports. They're talking about building a little LAN cafe and everything on campus, which I guess would be kind of like your field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a basketball court, you might as well have a LAN center.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking esports seriously and you're going to have
if you're giving
scholarships
and stuff, you should probably have somewhere for them to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, the cafe will be built in the model of Korean PC gaming cafes and will offer a premium League of Legends experience. I wonder if that includes my favorite part of those cafes, which is where they bring you food and stuff directly to your thing.
Probably not.
I seriously doubt it. So they probably mean sponsored gaming chairs, but still. I don't know. This is kind of cool. We're getting closer and closer to VJHS.
Yep.
We actually are. So that's gonna get interesting. I don't know.
Someone's gonna interview Freddie W in 15 years or whatever and be like,
"How did you know this vision was gonna come true?" Yeah.
It's gonna be like, "Shit, man, I didn't know." Yeah. I thought it was funny.
I was making a joke.
I just figured it was kind of cool. I made a video with my bros.
Yeah. Esports is cool. This is cool. It's starting to become a very viable career for an actually not insignificant amount of people.
Yeah, and not just a professional career, but also an indie career through services like Twitch.
Yeah. So it actually kind of makes sense. I'm making fun of it because it's kind of funny, but it does actually kind of make sense.
Riot Games has a guy, a guy whose job title is Collegiate Program Manager. Go figure.
Yeah. So,
who saw this one coming?
I think that's the show.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, the PlayStation 4.5 is kind of interesting. So this is, everyone's calling it 4.5. Could be called 4K or something like that, but word on the street is that Sony will be launching an updated PlayStation with roughly double the performance of the previous PlayStation. Whether that's enough to actually get them to reasonable performance at 4K is still very, very much to be determined.
No.
But I gotta use a wet blanket.
But I did that test years ago.
Why don't you just go to Japan, okay? Pull up to Sony's headquarters and take a giant dump on the lawn. Why don't you just do that if you're gonna be such a downer?
Minus the dump on the lawn part, we should do a diplomatic mission as a video sometime. I don't know if it's to Sony or whatever, but we should just like show up somewhere and be like,
could show up
"Hi,
at Valve.
we want
It's
to
like
help
2
you
hours
with your
away.
design stuff.
Yeah,
Stop putting glossy plastic on your controllers. There, Valve, perfect, done. Do not put glossy plastic on the top of your damn controllers." My dad ended up watching that review because he was like kind of interested because couch gaming is totally in his realm of things that he would like to do. And he saw the glossy plastic part and was just like, what? Why?
I recently had a conversation with someone where I was like I was half joking because I thought I was talking to someone like kind of lower down on the totem pole. And I was just like, yeah, and I can't believe you guys put freaking glossy plastic on it. And it turned out it was the person who like made the decision. And he was like, why?
Was this Gigabyte?
I don't remember.
Okay, because at CES, I had a conversation with Gigabyte about their NUCs.
Really?
Or their bricks. Their bricks. And the guy was like, yeah, like we put matte on it. I hope
it was
that's
a monitor
okay.
guy for me.
Oh yeah, no, it was the guy that manages bricks. He's like, we put matte on it. I hope that's okay. I was like, that's awesome. He's like, oh, what? You're not like mad that there isn't glossy? I was like, what are you talking about?
Who are these people?
But do you read anything? Have you watched any of our videos? Like, come on!
And not just us.
Anyone's.
I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones here.
We're not.
Right?
I shouldn't have said our videos. Like, have you looked at reviews of things at all? Like what was it? The Fury Nano that has like the glass over top of the glossy.
No.
What product is it that did that? Because that was cool. That was fine. Because the glass is nice and easy to clean, and the glossy plastic under the glass stays...
Gets protected and doesn't get scratched instantly. I don't remember what product it is.
Good job. But you know what yeah, whatever. Someone did it. It looked great. That was a good implementation of it. Just putting glossy plastic, especially in places that you're going to touch, is so dumb, and I don't understand how they haven't figured this out yet.
Back to the PlayStation 4.5. A more likely reason for its existence is to compete properly with VR computers. Because I mean, we did the math back when Sony was saying, well, you know, due to our special sauce, we are this much more efficient. We're this much, 60 hertz per eye. We can make it okay if we do some fancy interpolation, whatever else. We did the math and it still didn't add up.
Yeah, it was still weird.
If they have a PlayStation that is twice as powerful, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a proper VR experience, it looks like you're probably going to be buying a PlayStation 4K or 4.5 or, you know, 4 VR edition or whatever the case may be. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for tuning into the WAN show. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. If you're tuning in late, the upload will be up in about 6 hours on the YouTube channel.